And welcome to the Breakin Broncos podcast. Back in our studio, people. I'm sorry I tried to give you all this surprise on Monday, but as I told y'all, I had laryngitis. Y'all can probably still hear it in my voice. It's not 100%, but I'm good enough to be here, as always, with my guy Dylan Miles, right here on the Tay 42 Media Network and Bird Gang Sports Media Network. We are back, and we are going to continue to be back. And we got plenty of Broncos stuff to talk to y'all about. And our first ever full first round mock draft, me and Dylan together today. We're going to give y'all who we believe is going to go in all 32 picks in the first round. So let's go ahead and jump in here. First off, I know that my guy Dylan is extremely excited about this news that was coming. He predicted it. It's here. K-Jax is back, y'all. Kareem Jackson, one of the nastiest hitting safeties in the league, has come back again after testing the market and just re-cementing George Paton as the GOAT. So, my guy, what does this mean for this defense?
Means, defense is stacked again, right? We're going to have most of the same guys back. Obviously you lose the two to the trade picks for Russell Wilson, or I just lost Shelby Harris really in that pick. You lost Shelby Harris there, but really you replace them with guys like Randy Gregory, DJ Williams up front. Or DJ Jones, excuse me. DJ Jones up front. Exciting. I can't wait. But Kareem Jackson back has added leadership back in the locker room. A veteran who's been there. Well, this is going to be his fourth year? Fifth year? Yeah, I think four.
This will be year four.
Yeah, year four with the Broncos. And I'm hoping maybe after this, if he's coming back for cheap like this, 1 year, $5 million, which is what we were predicting, one year, $5 to $6 million. I would hope really, coming towards the end of this career, maybe they give him a few-year contract for cheap, which I think he would take. But, 1 more year with Kareem, which is great. I like seeing him lined up with, lined up with Pat Surtain, and on the other side of Justin Simmons, obviously. You don't have to worry about either side of the field when both of them are out on that field. Very exciting. Yes. Probably one of my favorite players on the team right now.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I really want to drive home that leadership. That is the key aspect. Regardless of how great Kareem has played, and he has played great since coming over to the Broncos, just the nastiness that he brings to that back end. He brings that physical nature, those nasty hits that only he seems to be able to get away with. I have yet to see anybody else hit people the way that Kareem Jackson does and not get flagged. Like, he is perfect. He just murders them and he gets away with it. Like, he's got the best lawyers in the biz.
It was that hit It was that hit he put on Pringle last year in the
Pringle,
the Chiefs game. Oh my God.
Yes.
That should have been a flag, I would think, but no.
You would think, but when you go back and you look at it, he was there's something about that radar he has that he always hits people in the perfect spot to get away with it. I don't know if he just goes out and practices it or if it's a natural inclination for him, but for some reason, this man can hit people in a way that's not supposed to be legal in the NFL today.
That's a man that, if he was playing back in that era before they changed everything, probably would still be a top player.
Could you imagine him and Steve Atwater together?
Dude,
nobody would want to go over the middle.
They'd get suspended.
Well, back then they would.
I know, but man, they'd kill people. They get put on a highlight reel for ending seasons, player seasons,
lives. And all day. But
getting brain damage for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, the leadership, the nastiness, that dog mentality, like what TJ Ward and Aqib Talib always talked about, that the defense lacked after 2015 is they let all the dogs go. Well, Peyton's not letting any of the dogs go. They all coming back. Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons, Draymond Jones, DJ Jones, like you said, Randy Gregory. I love his nasty disposition. I think he's going to bring a little bit of an edge to that edge position. So,
and then you got the young guys on that team. You got
Barrett
Chubb
Browning.
You got Brand Browning, Chubb, Surtain, all coming in. I'm excited to see Chubb play again this year. He'll be fully healthy.
And I don't think enough people talk about Ojay Mudia. Like,
no, they do not.
He reminds me of a young Kareem Jackson. Like, he's not going to get you 5 to 10 interceptions a year, but he's going to punch you in the mouth and he's going to get in the way of passes. Like I know we made a big deal about that the final game in KC where he dropped 2 Patrick Mahomes interceptions, but just think about the fact that he was able to cover those guys to
Yeah.
be in the way to get there.
You know, he's going to be the one that they're going to be throwing at the most because nobody's throwing on the side of Surtain. Nobody's going to throw on the side. And,
not after the rookie year he had.
And that's the way you're going to have. And even then, they weren't throwing on that side after what they saw him do.
No, not after, especially after Bryce Callahan went down. Like nobody wanted any piece of Pat Surtain. While Callahan was there, they tended to kind of spread it around because Callahan was a very, very good corner and probably the best corner the Broncos had last year. So they kind of stayed away from. But once he had that leg injury and that
unfortunate
breakup, just the guy
accident.
landed on his the guy landed on his leg funky and it twisted his knee.
That's what's unfortunate about his career is just bad luck.
Oh, I know, man. He is so talented. But
when he's there, I'm pretty sure they won almost every game he was there.
But speaking of Callahan, he is still available. You just saw how they were able to snatch up Kareem Jackson for $5 million for 1 year. I think they could get him even cheaper than Jackson.
I think you can get him 3 to 4.
Now, I don't think that they will sign him before the draft because the cornerback depth is actually pretty solid right now with, like we said, OJ Mudia, Surtain, and Darby. So it's pretty solid. So I don't see them jumping, but say the board doesn't fall right and they're not able to find a good slot corner or maybe a guy that can move both inside and outside in the draft. I could definitely see Callahan coming back after the draft for probably somewhere around 1 year, $3.5 to $4 million.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and just think about that cornerback and safety group. I mean, we haven't even talked about Caden Stearns or Jamar Johnson. Like this secondary is sick, y'all. And the pass rush that's going to be able to get there and get these guys bad passes is going to be insane. This is going to be a very, very fun team to watch, not only on offense with Russell Wilson and company, but this defense is going to be fun to watch as well.
You know, the nice thing about that leadership really is the leadership was always on the defensive side of the ball since after the Super Bowl in 2015, always been on the defensive side. There was really no
veterans on offense.
You know, and once DT and Emmanuel were gone, there was nothing left on that offense.
There was no veterans.
No veterans.
I mean, technically, maybe you could have said a Graham Glasgow, but I mean, who listens to a lineman?
Yeah.
You can't even get a lineman on ESPN. Who's going to listen to him in the locker room?
And
I mean, look at Jeff Saturday and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to
so many times, even exactly. Even him who's on TV doesn't get listened to. So who's going to listen to him in the locker room? So it's got to be a skill position player. It's got to be a superstar. Like on the defense, you have a Justin Simmons, superstar, great person, great leader.
And then you got Russell Wilson on that
offense,
side.
Yeah. Speaking of that leadership, Russell Wilson has been showing up everywhere in Denver. He showed up at Nuggets games, Rockies games, games, Avs games, children's hospitals with teammates in Cali. I mean, the man is jet setting everywhere. I want you to speak to what this means to this franchise beyond the X's and O's.
You know, it means a lot, especially not just for the city and for us, for him. Because, you know, Denver is a big part of his life from what we've known and from what he said. You know, he was drafted to the Rockies back in, did I have blue screen?
No, you're good.
My screens just went out. Okay, we're back. Sorry, my screens just flashed.
Yeah,
we're back. And, you know, back being here, he's, drafted by the Rockies. What was it, 2010? I believe it was.
Yeah, around there.
Around then. You know, so Denver's a big part of his life, obviously, you know, threw up the first pitch, which was awesome with
Epic strike
to, why did I just forget his name?
Chris
Bryant. Finally got a third baseman replacement. Not as good, but I'll say.
Well, he's a left fielder, but.
Oh, I thought they put him. Oh, he was third base, but back on that World Series.
But Ryan McMahon's already at third.
Yep.
So he's played the outfield for the last couple of years for the Cubs and the Giants. So he's a pretty good left fielder, and he's actually got an above average arm for a left fielder because of being a third baseman. But Ryan McMahon's just so good at third, and Chris Bryant's just kind of okay. They just figured put him out in the outfield where his defense is better, let him use his arm, and then keep Ryan McMahon at second base, who was a runner-up to Nolan Arenado for the Gold Glove Award last year.
Before I finish up here, how about that rob they had on the
Bro, Randall
Rangers the other
Grichuk.
day, dude?
Oh my goodness, Randall Grichuk in center field of
Who would have
Texas
thought they would have started off
Arlington.
4-1? Like,
Bro,
take a
nobody.
screenshot now. Take a screenshot
Yeah.
now, because by
Yes.
July, it's gonna be
Yes.
bad.
Well, since we're on this, next, I guess I'll go ahead and make this announcement. Is next week I am starting all of the other podcasts, y'all. So starting on Monday, as usual, you're gonna have Breakin' Broncos. Tuesday is going to be Skipping Rocks. Wednesday is going to be Nug Life, my Nuggets podcast. Thursday is going to be Sasquatch Says, the Avalanche podcast.
God, how about the Mavs, dude? Franchise win record.
And they still got 10 games. They tied it. They haven't said it yet.
Oh yeah, they tied it.
They tied
did
it
tie
at 52, but they got 10 games
After
left.
killing the Kings.
Oh my goodness, 9-3. And how about the chant for 10? The fans were chanting them on.
They could have got
Pile
it.
on an extra. They could have, but they really kind of laid off in the last few minutes
There's
of that
no
third
reason.
period. I mean, yeah, exactly. Let your guys get some rest. Like you said, it was just a bunch of the young guys, bottom of the roster guys that were out there at the end, and they were still out there mollywhopping on the LA Kings. So, I mean, it was
What
was
a downfall
nasty,
for that
nasty game.
franchise.
Man, they've really kind of hit a wall. But I mean, every franchise runs into it.
Yeah.
The Avalanche. We just got done dealing with the Avalanche being bad for what, a decade. The Rockies have been bad for the Rockies have been bad
Since
for
07.
27 years. I mean,
well, I mean, they had the one good year in 2007.
right,
then
exactly.
I'll give the 2018 team. That's about it.
Yeah. Hey guys, give me 1 second. Keep talking.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, but also with back to the Russell Wilson stuff, added leadership, going to the hospitals with the guys. I don't know what he's doing. Just me. We're hanging out. Going to all these games. You've seen him at Avs games. You've seen him at Nuggets games throwing autograph footballs out. I mean, did you see that video? I was just talking about when Russ was at those Nuggets game. He's throwing autograph footballs out into the crowd.
Yep.
He's been at Avs games.
His first pass in Denver wasn't at Empower Field, but it was at the Ball Arena.
Is that the sack?
It was oh man, I forgot the name of the mascot
Rocky.
for the Nuggets. Rocky. There you go, Rocky.
You would think that would be for the Rockies, but
well, hey, dude.
I know.
Did you see though that Rocky took one of the balls? Like he brought him multiple balls and he signed them, but Rocky took
10.
one of them. I was like, bro, I can't blame you.
Dude, I would have taken one of those.
I would have too, most definitely. But
it just still doesn't seem real to me yet that he's our quarterback until I see him on that field week 1.
I still gotta pinch myself every morning. Like, is this still a dream? Is this really our quarterback?
As soon as we hit week 1, yes.
Yeah. Speaking about beyond the X's and O's, it's like we were just talking about that the offense has not had a leader since Peyton Manning left. Really, I mean,
they tried with Teddy, but Teddy leader. I mean, not a player.
Yeah, he's a guy people like, but I'm sorry, there's nothing about Teddy that makes me want to run through a wall. He makes me want to hang out with him. He seems like a good guy.
I want to talk to Teddy.
And maybe, he seems like a really funny and charismatic guy, but he's not a guy I want to go to war with. I might want to go to a comic club with him, but I don't want to go to war with the man. Now, Russell Wilson, dangerous, homie. I'm going to run through every wall for that man.
I'll jump off a bridge for that man.
Yes, I mean,
he tells me jump off a bridge. All right, I have to now.
All right, here we go. On exactly, but it's just
the man told me.
It's insane to me to see just how quickly a great person mixed with a great player can completely change a franchise.
And how you can tell, you can tell now that his Seattle era is over is he just put his house on the market for $28 million yesterday.
Yep. Yeah, it's over. I mean, there's no way. There is no way. I don't care how many people want to try and twist and be like, oh, Russell Wilson's just trying to, work for a new payday, whether that's with Denver. He's not going anywhere. He is going
He'll probably
to
end up staying here.
Yeah, he's going to retire a Bronco, and most likely, like every other person that's ever came and played in Denver, will stay in Denver because it's a great wonderful place. I mean, it is. I'm biased, obviously.
We're biased, but there's some parts that probably don't want to be at. But
well, yeah, but I mean that's every city.
Yeah.
So
but now downtown's finally getting fixed, from what I've heard.
Oh
And
yeah,
from
I
what
mean
I've
even
seen,
just where
downtown's
I
finally getting
live,
recovered. Yeah.
yeah, where I live right off of Colfax. It's
Right where I lived
not
off 38th is finally getting recovered.
Colfax. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, when we would come up to Denver for our family vacations, what we would do, because, I grew up broke, we didn't go to places like the Bahamas and stuff. We came to Denver. We
But the
watched
Water
Rockies
World.
games. Yeah, Waterworld, Rockies, and Elitch's. That was our vacation every year. A Rockies game, Elitch's, and
Rockies
Waterworld.
games are so
Which
cheap,
I
dude.
mean,
I've been to so
honestly,
many.
I have no complaints. I would much rather have those memories than going to the Bahamas. I don't care. Y'all
Dude,
rich people can say that I don't know. Well, I don't care.
the
My
only things I
childhood was
remember from
awesome.
Mexico, the plane rides there and back.
See, there you go. But I remember
This is
everything
trashed.
from ours. But just real quick, I see more people than I see likes. Please,
That's
y'all,
messed up,
hit
man.
that like button. It hurts my soul when I see these things.
You're gonna make me
Because it's
leave and
free
go get
for
a
you.
burger at the baseball field. I'm
Right.
starving, dude.
It is free for you, but it is priceless for us, guys. Please, please, please hit that like button. But
I can't wait.
getting back to it.
I can't
Go
wait
ahead.
just to see that man on that field, especially with this offense. I mean, they were at Russ's house in San Diego for 2 weeks, not just throwing, not just running routes, watching film. Man, these guys were doing team meetings in his house. They were
Right.
watching film.
And-
They were breaking down playbooks and plays. Like,
Right. And it's like when I played that video last week when you weren't there. It's like
I was dying
looking
last
at that
week.
video. Yeah, you were. It's all right, brother. But watching that video, it's like it was insane. I had to explain to people that was not a sports complex. That's that man's house.
Backyard.
That's his backyard. He's got a full football field, a full baseball field, a
Some
tennis
soccer
court,
nets.
basketball courts, soccer nets. I mean, the dude has a flipping sports.
Dude, he has a
complex
grounds
for a
crew
house.
for his house. They were out there painting
Right.
lines for the field.
And it's like you said, he has a full film room, not a movie
Theater room,
theater
yeah.
that he watches film in.
I mean, it
He
could
has
be
an
used.
actual film room.
It could be used for like his kids
No,
to
he's
go
got a
watch
separate
movies.
one.
Oh yeah, that's
He's
right.
got a separate one.
That house
That's
is
insane.
bullshit.
He's got a freaking movie theater separate from the film
That house
room,
is
y'all.
BS.
It's ridiculous. But I mean, I guess when you're married to Sierra and you're a
And you
multi-millionaire
play
yourself,
football, yeah.
yeah, not just play football. You're a great football and a quarterback that's already made hundreds and hundreds of
Played in
millions.
two Super Bowls, won that the team you're
all the
playing
things.
for now beat. That you beat.
Right. Destroyed
forgive
the
him.
team.
I
I
forgive him.
forgive him. Yes, we can finally say we forgive Russell Wilson.
He's always
48
been-
to 6.
Like you've heard me say, he's always been one of my favorite players. He's just so
Always.
great.
Oh man, I was pounding the table for him when he was drafted. I was so mad when in the second round the Broncos decided Brock Osweiler.
But that was also
Was
the
the
same year
guy.
we got Peyton Manning,
Well, I mean, still, you put
Yeah.
imagine Russell Wilson tutoring behind Manning for 3 to 4 years.
Still did. He still got tutored by that man. He went to his football camps growing
Well,
up.
yeah, he went to his
picked his
football
ear all
camps,
the
but I'm
time.
saying, like,
yeah.
every single day.
But
for
we
3
would not
years.
we
Like,
would not have
essentially
seen
doing the Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre thing.
I just
that
don't
would
think
be
we would have seen how he would have, the things he did in Seattle probably would not
Yeah.
have seen it happen, right? It ended perfectly.
True.
I think it made its way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, everything happens for a reason, so we got him now. That's all that
Dude,
matters.
it's
And
exciting.
Speaking of getting a lot, and speaking of rich folk, how about the fact that the report is that Rob Walton, one of the Walmart heirs, has already put in a bid north of $4 billion. The Broncos are not accepting any offer below $4 billion.
I think he's just already locked it. He has to have locked it already, right?
Like,
Because
that's
there's no
insane.
other interest. From
well,
what I've
actually,
heard.
the crazy thing is there's been multiple offers that are under
Really?
consideration. Yes. So there's multiple people. So this sale could end up being even more insane than any of us thought. Everybody thought the max value was going to be $4 billion. That's the starting point, y'all.
Yeah.
This could get insane.
I mean, the Broncos are in the top 5 most valuable teams.
They are, but still, that's insane. Now, could you imagine if the Cowboys ever got sold, what that price tag is going to be?
$8 billion starting bid.
Dude, the Broncos might get sold for as much as $6 billion.
I mean, I know we ain't Jerryland, but my God, it's
That
crazy.
is insane, y'all.
But
Like, I knew our Broncos were going to be expensive, but I did not think it was going to be this expensive.
I would not have thought if the Russell Wilson trade didn't go through, the Aaron Rodgers trade didn't go through, and we're stuck, we still got Drew Lock. I bet you it didn't go anywhere past $5 billion. But now that the team's going to be more valuable with the players it's got now, the team's going to be winning, hopefully going to be a very big winning team for years to come. It's going to go for more. I bet you it goes anywhere from 6 to 7 if people really want it.
I agree. The Bolin children should be blessing George Payton right now, because you cannot tell me that this franchise is not more valuable with Russell Wilson and company than it was before.
You know what's sad? They can say how much they care about it, but they don't. Face it. Let's face it. They don't. They're not their dad, who loved every player that came through here and knew every player personally that came through here, loved his team. You're never going to see that again. You'll never see that again.
Yeah, especially if you get a Rob Walt. I don't see, honestly.
I think he could be a good owner, though. I think from the business side, the man
I will take him over Bezos.
Yeah,
I will tell you that.
The man is a tycoon.
Any of the Walton kids could buy this team by themselves. And that's
but he's the most qualified, definitely, out of all of them.
Yeah, and definitely, and he's got the backing, he's got the experience. He's not just, daddy's son that was through nepotism. He's got his degrees. I'm sure daddy paid for them, but he's got his degrees.
But he's been a CEO. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been a CEO. He knows
experience is where it counts.
Multi-billion-dollar business. Exactly.
Experience is where it counts.
Yeah, he's ran Walmart. There's not really any bigger company outside of Amazon and Tesla, honestly, at this point,
Microsoft
than Walmart. Microsoft, maybe. I don't know. That's gonna be a toss-up between Microsoft and Walmart.
What was the thing I saw? I was like, if Bill Gates walked around dropping hundreds, he would lose money turning around to get them and then walking away. I saw something like that.
Isn't that insane? God, man,
I wish I could drop Hondas like that.
Right, and it would actually cost me more to pick it up than to just keep walking. If I dropped a Honda and kept walking,
every step you dropped,
I would be looking at missing a bill. If I dropped a Honda.
I'd be like, yo, I kind of need that. That's food.
Right, exactly. I need that. Hey, if he wants to do it, I'll be his personal person to walk behind him, and that's just my payment. I pick up the hundos. Hey, I'm just saying, Bill, I'm available. I'm just saying.
But Walton's probably the most qualified out of the Walton children, right? And but I feel like, he really, most of these people, these business people are looking really more into the business side. They're not really looking toward the team side. They're looking for the business, and then that's where they're going to have the people hired on to, run the football side of things, run all that. That's what they're there for. He's there for the business and to hire these people coming in.
Yeah, I think he'd be one of the better ones. That's one thing I worry about with a Byron Allen, the media mogul. I feel like he's gonna get it. It's gonna get to his head, and he's gonna turn into a Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
and he probably wouldn't even be the majority owner.
Right. When you look at these groups,
so
I'm sure the people in these groups, cool. But look at how ownership groups have turned out in past years on past teams. And not just football, in every sport. It goes south. That's why I'd be happy to let Walton buy it for $4 billion. Put $4 billion down like that. I would be happy with that because he's going to let these people run it.
I would much rather have a solo. Yeah, I'd much rather have a solo owner, somebody that's going to be more in the background. I know that, we pointed out how Joe Ellis, the CEO of the Broncos, I played a video of him talking about how the other owners want a visible owner. Well, there's a difference between a visible owner and a meddlesome owner.
Mm-hmm.
A visible owner is like a Robert Kraft. A meddlesome owner is Jerry Jones. That's the difference. So, yeah, I think Rob Walton's probably one of the better ones. I would still love to see a Robert Smith get in, but it seems like it's just bad timing. He's trying to grow equity for one of his businesses, big time equity. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars.
And
so
from what we've heard, he said he's interested, but not that interested.
Yeah, it's just bad timing because, how do you tell your investors that are literally giving you hundreds of millions of dollars that,
I'm about to buy this football team.
I'm about to buy this football team, and go to $6 billion. in debt, but still give me money. That doesn't look good. So
Yeah.
I think it's just bad timing for Robert Smith. He'll probably end up buying a team before everything's all said and done, but it's just not going to be the Broncos.
I mean, and when you watch
it's
these,
looking more and more like it's not going to be a minority owner. If it is, it might be that one group. Oh, I forget their names, but it's the one. It's a Puerto Rican, a black woman, and an Iranian.
the business people, right?
Yeah, their business.
I forgot what their businesses were.
The lady,
I did read
she's
their
a
thing.
singer. Yeah, she's a singer and she's an investor. The Puerto Rican, he's an investor. And the Iranian, he came over to America as an immigrant, and he's like the American dream. Like he came over, became a multi-millionaire by some business. I forget what it was, but they're really the only other group I see that's a minority
And
that
like
really
when you look
has
at
a
these,
shot. Because they're each billionaires. It's three billionaires. It's
when you
not
look at
like
these
100
minority owners,
billionaire.
they're gonna have to go into groups. If you want to
Yeah.
be an owner, you're gonna have to go into groups, and it sucks because it's like there's not many billionaires out there, let alone minority billionaires.
Right.
In the US.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. The richest black man in history is Robert Smith, and he's worth $6 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That's pocket change to Jeff Bezos. That's the richest black man to ever live, y'all, in the history of mankind.
You know what it reminds me of?
All the billions of years that the earth has been around.
The Forrest Gump when Forrest gives Bubba's mom his share. She didn't have to work in his kitchen. It's just a white woman feeding her.
Yes.
That's Robert F. Smith, and I love it.
Yes, it is 100%.
But the man, he's got other business to tend to.
Yes, exactly. So, like I said, for him, it just seems to be bad timing. So it's looking more and more like we're just going to get another rich white guy. I'm sorry, guys. We've been hoping for otherwise, but I told y'all, follow the money. Follow the money.
Like, I'm just like Goodell in the NFL should know there's not many people out there that could put the money together for that on a minority owner. Like the groups, sure, but then it's like who's going to get sole purpose? Who's going to be the main face of it, right?
Yep.
Ownership groups don't work out, which I just hate that. There's some teams that the rare occasion it works out.
Even looking at the Bolin brothers, it wasn't Pat Bolin that bought the Broncos. It was the Bolin brothers that bought it. But even the brothers, the family could not make it work. And Pat had to buy out his brother because of strife that was happening in that office. Like, so that if family can't make it work, it's just not going to work.
And you're never going to see owners again like that. Sure, maybe you will, but you're never going to see the owners to the ability that, like, say, Pat Bolin. I'll even give Al Davis credit after that documentary about him and the commissioner.
Yes.
I have immense amount of respect for him now. Al Davis. Sure, I'll say Jerry in the 80s. Jerry Jones in the 80s, not nowadays.
Before he became insufferable.
Yeah, Jerry Jones then. I'll even give Robert Kraft before he was getting massages.
But you know what?
But nowadays you're seeing more owners like Dan Schneider. You're seeing more guys like that.
Yeah. I don't. Oh, man, there's so much I want to say.
That man might be forced to sell the team too. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Exactly. Fingers crossed. But let's go out with the old, in with the new, and let's do first. As you lose your camera, our first mock draft, Breakin' Broncos style. Full first round, all 32 picks. Here we go. So, first off, as we know, for the second year in a row, Jacksonville has the number 1 overall pick.
Dude, I already know who they're going to take.
Who do you believe?
They're going to take Akeem Ekwonu. They're going to get some help for Trevor Lawrence on the line.
Yep, I 100% agree on that. Ikem Ekwonu. I hope I said that right. He is definitely the pick.
That's a guy I wish the Broncos would have taken if he was there, if we had that pick. But he would not have been there. He's going top 3 at best.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. He's not getting outside of the top.
The man is an animal.
And so next up, we have the Detroit Lions. We know that their number 1 need is quarterback, but I can't see them taking.
They're going to sit Goff for one more year.
I do believe so. I agree. Their next greatest need is edge, and it just makes too much sense to me. Let me know if you think differently, Dylan. But I believe it's Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
They're going to take the Michigan kid. Keep him in Michigan. Get some
it
help
makes
on that
it's a
D that
need.
needs help.
Yeah, and he is a top tier passer. I know people want to try and poke holes in his game, and it's honestly kind of racist. You know, they kind of go to the old trope of, oh, he's a white guy, he's not athletic. The man is plenty athletic. He is an absolute beast.
Dude, the
He is
man's
Jared Allen. He is Jared Allen incarnate.
the man
He
kills
is going
people.
to be a beast.
You seen
Yes,
him
he's
hit?
going to be a beast. Right.
It's in
And
that Ohio State game. He was the factor, I would say,
those
in that game.
hands, bro. Them hands. Nobody wants that
huge.
smoke. Those hands are heavy, bro.
Now
Nobody
here,
wants it.
I don't know if you agree with me on this Texans one.
They need everything, so essentially you can't go wrong.
But here's who I think they take here. I bet you they take Trayvon Walker from Georgia. You take Trayvon Walker, you get some edge on there, help that defense out a bit. The offense wasn't too bad last year, right? It was the defense was just getting smoked. You get some help on that defense.
Yeah, Davis Mills, I think, is a find. He might be a gem that they found.
But keep in mind, they got 13 still. So they can flex picks here, which I think they take Trayvon Walker here, and I already got something who they take 13.
Edge later. Okay, I was thinking more edge later, but you know what? I'm not mad at Trayvon. We'll go
because Trayvon Walker will definitely get picked up by the Giants before he gets to 13.
I like the thinking. But next up we have the New York Jets, which I think this one's pretty easy. I think this one's also pretty easy. Evan Neal.
Oh yeah.
You got to get some protection for Zach Wilson. Yeah, help out Zach. That poor kid's been getting destroyed.
See, now this is where I think
kind of sticky. Go ahead.
Scroll down a bit. I just kind of blanked on his name. He should be in there. Where is he? What is he? I just forget his name. Edge.
Edge?
Yeah, Jermaine he was Johnson? An edge. No, the Utah kid that we really liked. I always forgot his name. Just blanked on his name. Edge linebacker. The linebacker from Utah.
You think he's going to go top 5?
The Giants, I think they would have taken him here because I was looking at mock drafts. He's been up top 5 now.
Because I was thinking about O-tackle because the edge group is really deep, and they need an O-tackle badly. And
would you go Charles Cross then? Yeah.
Yeah, after Charles Cross, the drop off is dramatic when it comes to offensive tackle.
I can see that.
Yeah, so let's go Charles Cross, number 5 overall.
Carolina's going to go defense, in my opinion, here.
I do believe so too.
It's going to be a heavy defense this year.
I do believe so, but I mean, Malik Willis is sitting here. Do you think Malik Willis? Do you think there's actually going to be I mean, it's hard to believe that a quarterback doesn't go in the top 10. A lot of bad people. it's really bad, dude.
Let's see who's on that depth chart right now.
They're so bad I can't.
I thought they just picked somebody up. Oh, they saw Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they don't go QB here. I wonder if they wait till next year when it's heavy.
Yeah,
when it's a heavy QB draft.
Like, do they wait till next year? But it's just hard for me to believe that a quarterback doesn't go top 10. And the only one I see in the top 10 taking a quarterback is either Carolina or Seattle. You think we should hold off Malik until Seattle?
I would hold off Malik till Seattle because I bet you here they're going to go. I think they're going to go defense.
Give Drew Lock some competition.
Defense was going to
and I mean, Kayvon did drop.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sauce.
Here's who I think they take. I don't know if you'd agree with me here. I think they take Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, take a safety.
But they don't really. They got 2 good safeties.
Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong team. I am thinking of the wrong team. Yeah. Okay, I was thinking more of Seattle, of Atlanta. I was thinking more Atlanta on safeties.
Gotcha. Yeah, Atlanta does definitely need a safety.
No, I bet you. Okay, then I would think they take Ahmad Gardner.
I say they take Sauce. I do like Sauce.
I mean, Sauce is pretty good.
Yeah, let's go with Sauce. Let's go. People love Sauce.
Because they lost. They did lose. I can't forget names. Stephon Gilmore. Yes. They just lost him. He's on the free agency list. Who would want to go back to Carolina right now?
Who's a better replacement than the guy that he is essentially being compared to? So yeah, I like it. And then I think this one's pretty easy too. Giants, Kayvon.
Yeah, they'll take Kayvon.
Yeah, I think that just makes too much sense there.
Devin Lloyd, that's who I was thinking of. I just forgot his name.
Devin Lloyd. Yes. Sorry. Oh, my bad. I thought I'd said it, but I guess I didn't. But now we got the Falcons. And I think we've already said this. I mean, Kyle Hamilton falling this far. I don't see him falling any farther.
They're going to take Hamilton here, and if not, they're going to. I bet you if they didn't take him, which I think they will, I think they would go Singletary.
Singletary?
Yeah.
Or Stingley?
Stingley, yeah, Singletary. Okay. Stingley, yeah.
I like Kyle. I like Kyle better.
Yeah,
Kyle's
I bet you.
Beast.
Who knows what happens in this draft? I think they take Kyle, but if say he wasn't there, I bet you they take Stingley out.
Stingley's a definitely good pick, but I mean, just with Kyle sitting there, I mean, honestly, it'd be a shock for him to fall this far. I know people want to talk about positional value with safeties, but Kyle Hamilton is.
Now this is where Willis comes in.
Yes, I do believe so. I think we agree.
I bet you that'd be a tough QB competition.
It really would, but I think Malik wins it.
Oh, definitely.
As much as I love Drew and everything, but Malik just has so much.
This is where just take defense.
Yep, I think edge.
Yep, this is Jermaine Johnson. If he falls this far, you got to snatch him right now.
You gotta. I believe so. I agree. Yep. All right, so now on to the Commanders. I think this is honestly. This is a hard one between Drake London and Derek Stingley Jr. I'm kind of torn here. I think either one of those guys would be absolutely epic on this team.
Give Carson Wentz some help on offense would be great. The defense, okay, here's my thinking. The defense is already pretty good, right? The defense wasn't that bad until
it was beastly.
Jones went down. Or Jones. Not Jones.
I'm talking about Chase Young?
Yeah, Chase Young. Until Chase Young went down, that's when that defense fell apart. Chase Young's that glue that holds that defense together. And, I bet you they go London.
Yeah, I think
they go London here.
Yeah, give him that big guy next to Terry McLaughlin.
Yeah.
McLaurin.
And, this team has a chance to compete in that division next year.
If Carson Wentz shows up, look at Washington.
Look at how he played the second half of the season last year with the Colts.
Or just look at what Ron Rivera was able to do with who was it before Cam and after Cam? But he had winning seasons without Cam Newton. I forget who it was off the top of my head. I want to say DeLone, but I know that's too old.
No, it was oh my gosh. He did great with Ron Rivera there when they let him go. Why am I forgetting this man's name? I'm gonna look it up.
I can't remember it either. But yeah. But on next we have the Minnesota Vikings. They go offense. I think so too. Give another weapon, Wilson.
Yeah, I bet you they'd take him.
Yeah, I think Wilson over Williams. Yeah, we'll go with Wilson here. Boom, Garrett Wilson. All right. Now the Texans.
Are you talking Panthers? Or are you talking Washington with Rivera?
Well, really both. You could look at, but Panthers.
Panthers. Okay, I'm looking at this list of quarterbacks because he had Cam until 2019, but those are those years he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was that. Is this the year I'm thinking of? He had Heineke. He had Heineke with him over there too. Over in
right.
He had Heineke over there in Carolina, and then he picked him up when he went over to Washington.
Yep,
I'm a big Heineke fan myself. I love that guy.
He's definitely great. His story's great. Would I make him my franchise guy? No, but I think he's a really good bridge quarterback, and I think he'll make a career a lot like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's Josh Johnson. Same mold. Yeah, or Josh. I think even more Fitzpatrick because I think he'll probably get more starting opportunities than Josh ever did. A lot like Fitzpatrick did. He's just going to be that guy that's good enough for a bad team, but not good enough.
Look what he did in that playoff game against the Bucs 2 years ago.
Exactly.
He almost beat them.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so now here's where this. Now thinking Texans, you took defense, right? You need more defense.
Edge. Yeah, I think Stingley is perfect.
I think this is where you take Stingley if he's available on the board. I would say if he wasn't on the board, you take Jameson Williams. But I go Stingley here.
Yeah, Stingley here. Their defense is so bad.
Now,
so bad.
This is where defense is going to come into play here for the Ravens too.
This one I have to do because this just makes too much sense to me because he just screams Ravens, and that's Jordan Davis. Does he not look like a whole lot? Gosh.
Yeah, and the man was an animal for Georgia over the
Yes.
years while he was there.
And just plug him into that Ravens. He is a Raven through and through. Like, he was born to be a Raven. I can't see anything else happening.
So now here's my thinking for the Eagles.
Philly,
I think they go defense as well. Here's my thinking.
me too.
You got Hurts on that team, right? You have the pieces on offense last year.
Yes,
Their defense was all right, but they struggled.
Especially the secondary. So we have two options here: Trent McDuffie, Washington, or Andrew Booth Jr.
I'd take Booth
out of Clemson,
because Booth was an animal with Clemson.
Yeah, he's a little bit longer. They do like their,
but he's got some speed.
Yeah, and speed, size, speed, all that. So yeah, I agree. Booth.
I'm only thinking that just because they struggled on that secondary last year, and I like Booth because he was really the star of that team last year on Clemson, I'd say.
I agree. And I think here, I mean, you gotta replace Mike Thomas, right? Like, there's no doubt you got to.
You go Williams.
And I think you got to go Jameson Williams right here.
Defense isn't going to be that much of a problem with the Saints, I would say. He's not going to be that much of a problem. You re-signed Jameis, and Jameis was having a great year until he got hurt.
Right.
Now, Chargers
here. The Chargers.
Really, it's defense again.
Yeah.
They could use a tight end as well.
They could, but I don't think there's any first round.
You wait till second round to get a tight end.
I really think that Devontae Wyatt is going to be the pick here. I with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on each
line
edge.
Them inside.
I hate to do it. I hate to give these guys to make them stronger, but I think Devontae Wyatt
right now, dude. The West is just insane.
It's so crazy, man. It's insane, and it's just going to get better with this draft.
Eagles. Now, this is where you take offense, in my opinion, for the Eagles. I think you help out. I think help out with a receiver here, and I would take Dotson. If Dotson wasn't on the board,
Olave.
I do too. But here's my thing with him. Go back to his Dotson real quick. Show his. Let me look at him. He's 5'1", right?
Insane.
You need they need a slot. In my opinion, you need a slot on that team.
Insane. If I remember right, this is the guy that ran like a 4.2 or low 4.3 40.
That's pro day.
So, yeah, let Hurts use that arm of his. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Because I just forgot the guy's name, the Heisman winner for Alabama 2 years ago.
Oh, Devon Smith.
Yeah, Devontae. They already have Devontae Smith. They already have him. You have a good receiver. Now, I think you need a slot. You need more speed. You're not really worried about running back right now. You can worry about that in later rounds.
Insane duo. Yeah, Dotson and Smith. Yeah, that's sick.
Now I bet you Saints will go D here. They'll go D.
Do they, or do they take a tackle?
Actually, no. Yeah, I bet you. Yeah, Penning.
Trevor Penning's still sitting here. And he's definitely a first round tackle.
And if they didn't take him here, the Steelers would definitely take him next.
Right. There's also Kenny Pickett and Desmond Ridder. Do you think? And this is kind of a toss up here.
I think they go Penning.
Who did they pick up as QB? Have they picked up? They re-signed.
They re-signed Jameis. So I bet you they could get a quarterback in later rounds. I would go Penning here. Now here's my thought process.
Some protection.
Because now the Steelers, with the unfortunate and horrific tragedy of Dwayne Haskins' death, right? Horrible thing to happen.
Yep. I'm already with you, brother.
Kenny Feel bad Pickett. For that, man, because Kenny Pickett here. Because Dwayne Haskins was great. And for the games he had with Washington and for him to get that chance in Pittsburgh for the unfortunate ending to happen, now they're just down to Trubisky.
Right.
And who knows? They could get a trade for Baker soon.
And the Pittsburgh kid staying in Pittsburgh.
Keep him in the state.
Keep him in Pittsburgh.
Keep him
and my guy, Mike Harris. He'll love that. He's actually been working for a scouting company that he's spent the entire college football season sitting in the stands tracking stats for the Pittsburgh. The University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So he got to see a lot of Kenny Pickett. And he's like, yeah, I know he's got small hands. He's kind of small size, but he's just so pro.
And he's a game manager.
The reads that he makes. Yeah. The reads he makes. He's a lot like he's Drew Brees with a little less arm.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
the
now
best way to
here's
put it.
my thing here for this Patriots. They go defense, and this is where McDuffie comes into play for them because they didn't have great corner depth last year.
I agree.
And you get yourself a good corner who's got speed, and he's got a little bit of height. He's not the tallest guy.
Yeah, I think he's 5'11", so just under 6 foot.
He's got perfect corner size, but he's got the speed of a slot receiver.
Shiftiness. Yeah. And he can work inside and outside. So he's real versatile. Yeah, I like that. And that's the number one thing with Bill. Do your job, and I'm going to give you all the jobs. So you must do them all. So
you're not really worried about offense right now on the Patriots. The offense found its stride later in the season.
It's fun. Yeah, later in the season, Mac Jones and them. So, and they always seem to find some wide receiver way late in the draft or undrafted that just turns into a stud, like a Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, etc. So I'm not worried about them finding a guy later, especially in a deep draft like this.
Yeah, I don't know if you agree with me here, but I bet you this is where Chris Olave comes into play for the Packers.
I was already getting there.
Because they need receivers. You lost Devontae.
And I think they finally, and Olave is essentially everything that Devontae was with more speed.
Yeah.
So yes, I agreed. Olave to the Packers.
Now you need some lot D here after losing Chandler Jones to the Raiders.
I agree, and I think the perfect replacements right here, George Karlaftis.
I will agree with that completely. And, if Karlaftis wasn't on the board, this is where I think Devin Lloyd would come into play. But I want you to –
I like that.
But I have thinking for not the next pick, but the pick after.
I got you. Now we got Cowboys. They need edge, safety, wide receiver, interior O-line.
But I think you take –
with the Cowboys, I mean, they've lost a lot on that offensive line. And the one thing I will give Jerry is he is not afraid to pull the trigger on an offensive lineman in the first round. Mm-hmm. And we have the three top interior O linemen on the board.
And I would take Kenyon Green out of the three here.
I agree. Yep, Kenyon Green right there, Texas A&M. Boom.
Just now, makes sense. Here you go.
Go ahead.
This is where Devin Lloyd comes into play for the Bills. You need somebody else. You need a linebacker. Sure, you got Vaughn. You just picked up Vaughn, right? But you need some help on the other side.
You need an off-ball linebacker.
Yep, and you can have Devin Lloyd play in the middle. You can have him play on the edge. You can have him play really anywhere.
Yeah, I know people are going to look here and they're like cornerback, wide receiver, running back, interior O-line, O-tackle, tight end, interior D-line, safety, and then linebacker. Well, yes, that shows the need later on.
But I mean, look at
when you have this type of talent that's sitting there, that's fallen this far, and it's hard for me to believe that he will, but the positional value of a middle linebacker could have him fall this far, and just having him roam the middle of that defense with Von Miller on the outside.
And look at the quarterbacks that have to play against, right? You got to play against Mac Jones, man. You got to play against Tua. Sure, Tua doesn't have the arm, doesn't have a great arm, but the man can move.
Accurate, and and he moves, and he likes to use the middle of the field, which what does a middle linebacker do? Yep. Roams the middle of the field. So
and even against Zach Wilson, he will be very useful against Zach Wilson.
Yep. And here we have
you need everything for the Titans now.
Yeah, you need a lot with the Titans. I mean,
but I bet they go O.
I'm starting to think so too. I mean,
and you need somebody
to great linebackers left. You got Nakobe Dean.
Yeah. I bet. Do you need somebody to protect? I'm spacing on names today, man.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill. You need somebody to protect him, and this is where I like Zion Johnson into play.
You know what? I'm not mad at it. I'll go with it. We'll go Zion Wilson or Johnson. Wilson. Thinking basketball.
Man had a great game the other night. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Bucks. I mean,
Tampa Bay. I think this is another interior. I think we have a run on interior lineman. It's their
Linderbaum
then. Need. And
Linderbaum's really the last one. If he's the last available, I'll take him.
Yep, and I mean he's the best center available in the draft. Period. So you're getting the top center. I mean, you give him for Tom Brady to work with, and I mean, I think you're golden. Yeah.
And now, definitely. I don't know if you'll agree with me on this one, but I bet you this is where you take Mafe. This is where you take Mafe from Minnesota.
Boye Mafe.
Get you some help on defense on that Packers team.
Edge rusher. Yep. Big guy. Most definitely. And here's our hated Chiefs. They get to go back to back.
Let's give them something shitty.
I wish.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I was watching Brandon Perna and Tom Grossi do their mock draft last night, and somebody paid Brandon Perna $10 to give the Chiefs a punter with this pick. And he
Okay,
did. It was
now
great.
really, if I'm thinking here,
But
this is where you
seriously,
take
yeah,
Treylon Burks from Arkansas.
I agree.
They need
I agree.
receivers. Patrick Mahomes does
Give him
not
that
have
big
receivers.
guy, 6'2" receiver with some speed and size. Yeah, I agree.
This is really gonna. This
here.
is really replacing. This isn't a Tyreek replacement. This is your Pringle replacement.
Yep. He's a bit bigger. He's got a lot of speed, most definitely. And then here, I think you got to replace the Honey Badger.
Yeah, if I bet you here. Oh yeah, they get back-to-back picks. That's right.
Yep.
I go Hill from Michigan.
You go Hill.
I'd take
I kind of
Hill.
like Lewis Sign though.
I do like Sign, but Hill will fit that Chiefs defense very well.
I think
he hits hard like the Honey Badger.
He really does. So yeah, we'll give him Hill. Then we got the Bengals, and
you need O-line here for sure.
You would really hope that a tackle would drop, but there is Tyler Smith still here from Tulsa as an interior.
Okay, here's my thinking: you replace Eli Apple here.
You with Kyrie Elam.
I would take Elam, or I would take Riddler. Either one of them, but I would go with. It would be cool to keep the Cincinnati.
You can't take Riddler with.
Sorry. I read that cornerback. My bad. I saw QB and I read CB.
The next nearest corner would be Kyler Gordon out of Washington, but he's a second rounder.
You go with Elam.
Kyrie or Elam. Yeah, he's the last remaining first round cornerback, and we're down to our final pick, number 32 overall.
This is where offense comes into play for these guys here. There's not many, right? There's not many here. Go scroll down a bit.
I mean.
I would take
Sky Moore.
I would take more here, but
it's
really only if there's an available.
Yeah,
but I would take go back up.
He's a really good slot, a lot of speed. He's really a Tyreek Hill-like kind of player.
See, but you might be able to snatch him in the second round. So here's my thinking: scroll back up.
Yep.
You take the other Michigan kid here. You take Ojabo.
You know what?
You match up both those guys on the edge.
You give them two edges. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
But
yeah,
or
that's kind of sick. Aiden Hutchins. Give them both the teammates.
You bring
guys.
the duo.
Screw it. Yeah, let's
keep
do
it
it
in Michigan. That would be my thinking here. I like both those guys.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, and then they get the number 2 pick in the second round. They can snatch up Ritter or whatever. Yeah, I like that. I like that because there's no way that Ojabo makes it past Jacksonville. It's not going to happen. So yeah, snatch up Ojabo. But here we are, guys. This is our full first round mock draft. Me and Dylan, number 1 overall, Ekem Ekwonu, O-tackle at NC State. Detroit Lions take Aiden Hutchinson, 2nd overall out of Michigan. Houston Texans take Trayvon Walker, edge out of Georgia. The Jets at 4, Evan Neal, O-tackle out of Alabama. New York Giants, O-tackle out of Mississippi State, Charles Cross. Number 6, Carolina Panthers took Ahmad Gardner, cornerback, Cincinnati. 7, Giants, Kayvon Thibodeau, edge, Oregon. Atlanta Falcons, Kyle Hamilton
is an animal. Florida State just knows how to produce defense.
And I promise I'm going to stop after the top 10. Seattle Seahawks, number 9, Malik Willis, the only top 10 quarterback in the draft. And I think
first round quarterback. Yeah, it's the only one.
No, 2. We did take Kenny Pickett for Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's right. Yep. The QB battle with Trubisky. And that's if they don't pick up Baker, which I would love for them to pick up Baker.
That would honestly be the smartest move.
Dude, could you imagine
Baker just over any quarterback available right now?
Could you imagine Baker just burning the Browns twice a year?
Bro, how epic would that? But that's the thing is like, do they trade him to the interdivisional rival? That's the thing.
If they're willing to give it up, look at the picks they had in the first round.
Yeah, because that's why Seattle wouldn't trade Russell within the division or even the conference. Like they didn't even want him in the conference. The only reason they entertained the Broncos is because the Broncos are in the AFC instead of the NFC. Mm-hmm. So that's the catch-22 there.
It just depends how much Pittsburgh's willing to give up for Baker.
Exactly. It's like, are they willing to sell? But are you willing to sell the farm for Baker? I'd give up maybe a first rounder.
But here's the thing too. You got Deshaun Watson. You're really looking to give up Baker, and you're willing to give it to anybody who offers anything at this point.
I would hope so. for
not many
Baker's
teams
sake,
are going to go for Baker, right? And I think
Yeah.
it's a smart move for Pittsburgh to take Baker here. Oh, now I can try and fix my camera. I was like, we're doing drafts, so I didn't really need it right now.
right? No, you're good.
But you take Baker, you can get Baker in there. In my opinion, was the best quarterback probably other than Joe Burrow in that division. That
Right.
like Lamar is great, but he didn't have a great year this year. Baker had a better year than Lamar. Like just saying this year.
Think about that. Yeah, think about that. Like people don't want to talk about it. They just want to dog Baker. But yeah, he did. By all accounts and purposes.
I'm a big Baker
he had a
fan.
better year than Lamar. Me too.
I love Baker.
I love the fact that he was able to go number 1 overall.
And the story and like just being an overall great guy on that side too. I mean, the story from him being when he was at Oklahoma, that Make-A-Wish girl that came to the facility, passed away, went and spoke at her funeral. Yes. Overall, great class guy. Like, and I would love, like, he would love, dude, Tomlin would just have the time of his life with Baker. I mean, look at Tomlin loves his gunslingers.
Right. And I mean, and that's what I don't get about Baker is like people seem to hate him so much. He just seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is it cockiness or is it confidence?
I see a lot of people think it's cockiness. I think it's confidence. It's that fire. I love that. He's just got that flame in him.
Yes.
And he's looking to prove something this upcoming season.
I believe so too. I believe
wherever he's at,
he is as long as he gets. No, I can't say wherever. Like if he ends up in Houston, I'm sorry. Right?
God no, he's gonna have a horrible.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's not your fault. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he ends up in Pittsburgh, bro. I mean, is that not the perfect Pittsburgh quarterback?
Dude.
I mean, just think about their attitudes.
You're in the
and
Steel
the way
City.
They carry themselves.
You're in the Steel City.
You're
playing in front
of guy.
And you're playing in front of some of the most ecstatic fans that they love their Steelers.
Yeah. Now, would I suggest Baker goes to like Philly? No. They'll eat him alive. New York? Probably not.
No, he'd die in New York. He gets stabbed on his way to the stadium.
Bro, yes. But Pittsburgh, I think that's one of the perfect places. Pittsburgh, I mean, even Green Bay, if there wasn't Aaron Rodgers.
Here's my teams I think he would end up. Steelers for sure. Steelers for sure. I could see him even going to Atlanta, and he could shine at Atlanta. I mean, look, they're building offense around there, and in the draft, they'll take some guys. I could see him doing well in Atlanta, in my opinion. Or even, I mean, dude, if the Dolphins are looking to replace Tua, the man could have a great time in Miami. Yo, okay, here's one thing. If Brady didn't unretire, he could have been a great quarterback for the Bucs.
Know what? Yeah, agreed. He would have been.
I mean, who knows?
That actually probably would have been the ideal situation. Even for the Browns. I mean, they'd get him out of the conference, out of the division, and they would only have to see him once every 4 years.
Or even in a Super Bowl if they made it.
Maybe. Yeah, if the Browns made it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, with who knows if he sticks around, if the Watson stuff happen, if like Watson has to miss some games this year and they keep Baker around for one more year and Brady decides to finally retire after this season, he could end up in Tampa. He could even end up in Tampa as a backup to Brady this year. Imagine Baker 1 year under Brady. My God.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Yeah. But I mean, even thinking now that Browns team with Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, and
you picked up Amari.
And yeah, you picked up Amari. And I mean, man, if Deshaun Watson can get on the field, that Browns team could be scary.
What I saw recently,
that defense is legit, bro.
What I just saw is they're most likely looking to not even go into trial until after this season. So he'll probably be playing every game this year.
There you go. If that's the case, then he's free.
I love Deshaun.
The Browns are free to get rid of. Yeah, I love the player. I mean, you can say what you want to say about his personal things, but so far, everything that's been brought against
him hate the person
has been thrown out.
You can hate the person, but I can't hate the player.
I can't even hate the person at this point because there's been nothing proven. They've had 2 grand juries tell these women there's no evidence. There's nothing for you to go at.
Oh, yeah.
So,
dude, Deshaun, I mean,
right now,
I think
all
that's a
legal
perfect
problems,
fit for him, dude. He's got Stefanski. Stefanski, a great offensive mind.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he's in a great situation. He's got some great teammates around. I still would have liked to have seen what he could have done with Jarvis Landry. That's the biggest surprise move to me. Was like, why?
He might
They
be
didn't
coming
need
back, dude. I saw something on Twitter the other day. There's interest from both sides to bring him back.
Gotcha. Maybe a Kareem Jackson kind of situation, like from
Mhm.
last year, or Bryce Callahan, however you want to put,
They might
whatever
bring him
situation
back.
you'd like to use.
Now that's dude. No, I think the two scariest divisions in football right now. I'll give you three. Three scariest divisions of football right now are the AFC West. I'll give the AFC North. Especially, I mean, look at the quarterbacks in that division now. I mean, depending on who the Steelers get, whether it's going to be Trubisky this year, whether it's Pickett, whether it's Baker, you got Deshaun, you got Joe Burrow, and you got Lamar Jackson. I think that those two so far, and I'll even give an NFC one here. I'll give it. I just blanked on which division it was. Not many great divisions, but my gosh, I'm not having a great day today. I'm thinking.
I lost where you were. You lost me where you were going.
Yeah. So the three great divisions right now are the AFC West, AFC North, and I will give it to the NFC West. Too. The NFC West, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
You got Matt Stafford. What's in that division? Jimmy G.
Matt Stafford, Kyler Murray, Jimmy G, Trey Lance /
Yeah. And then Drew Lock and whoever they get.
It's going to be Trey Lance. Yeah, Drew Lock, and then maybe Malik Willis if they follow what we did. So, but I have just
not quarterback side, but defensive side on those teams are scary.
Gotcha. But I just got done posting the mock draft, so all of y'all will see that on Twitter, on right here, right down at the bottom, @_ the answer is 42. So if y'all want to get a deeper dive into who we picked, how we selected them, things of that nature, please feel free to comment, like it, whatever you got to do. We appreciate all of those things. Again, remember, like, comment, subscribe. Yes, rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. Screw you, Gil Brandt. Screw you, boys for life, and your retarded comments.
Schefter's comment pissed me off. Did you see that?
Schefter's
comment.
Schefter's wasn't that bad. Gil Brandt, on the other hand,
you didn't have to mention. Yeah, you didn't have to mention a lackluster NFL career and a man that just passed away. It was poor timing.
Right.
It was poor taste.
But y'all want to know what's even worse, though? Okay, so y'all want to talk about Adam Schefter and Gil Brandt's justified, but Boys for Life actually called the man.
I didn't hear what they said. Oh my god.
No.
Those guys are idiots.
I told you about what happened in the Bird Gang chat. I won't go into much detail there, but as much as y'all want to jump on these guys, at least they didn't call a dead man a dumbass for being on the highway. And without any info, at this point, all the man knew was that somebody snapped a picture of him in the middle of the highway. Well, it comes out the man had run out of gas in his rental car and was trying to cross the highway to a gas station to get gas. And unfortunately, he didn't make it. That doesn't make him a dumbass.
No.
That just makes him a human.
This makes a poor mistake that cost a man his life.
Right. But yet we have retards like Boys for Life. Y'all can go check out his YouTube channel if y'all want to, and y'all can see just how retarded he is. And I don't mince any words. I told him in the chat, I have no apologies. I said what I said, and I'm saying what I say now. If y'all can't be a human, please shut up. If you can't have empathy and sympathy, shut up. You're not a troll by calling a dead man a dumbass without any information other than a picture. You're a dumbass. Period. So, with that being said, I think I'm done before I go too far off on this. Before I really lose myself, because I'm really feeling blood boiling. So we're gonna end this now before things get real ugly. But again, I said what I said, and you can come at me if you want to, little ostrich boy. But anyways, I am Dan Wetstein for the Breakin Broncos podcast. The Answer is 42 Media Network.
I don't have a
Bird
cam
Gang
still.
Sports Media Network. Dylan is here, even though he doesn't have a cam. I promise he is there. But
I might
we
just
will
eat
be
them.
back
I'll just
again.
order a new one.
Hey man, whatever
This
you
is
got to
starting
do, brother.
piss me off.
We're not worried about it. We appreciate you being here. And as always, we will be back on Mondays, back at the regularly scheduled times. Sorry again for this week, but I appreciate y'all bearing with us and showing up today. Thank you to all that have been here, and thank you to all that will watch later. We love y'all. Thank you. Don't question the blue.
No, sir.